Okay, let's just move on from this news to get in another big reaction to yesterday's Supreme Court's verdict on the coal block deallocation, the allocations which were done since 1993. Tom Albanese, who's CEO Vedanta Resources, joins us on the show. Tom, good to have you. The Supreme Court in India has cancelled all the coal mines allocated since 1993. How does Vedanta stand to lose, and what is the option ahead for the solution to this problem?
Yes, I think, again, a little bit of background. There had been an allocation system for captive blocks for captive consumers for coal that goes back to 1993, or more than 20 years, 21 years. And the Supreme Court recently had rejected virtually all of those or disallowed them. So again, that has, I think, put the coal industry in India in a bit of turmoil and the risk of some chaos. My concern is that India, while it's blessed with huge coal resources and relies on that coal for the bulk of its energy production, is increasingly relying on imported coal because of some inherent problems within the coal sector. So while this ruling doesn't affect our current operations, it does have a negative effect on, I think, future coal supplies in India and certainly business sentiment. So it's my own hope that the Indian government takes the lead quite urgently and conducts a root and branch review of the entire coal sector in India. It's probably ripe for some reform.
Vedanta as a parent company has shown immense confidence in the Indian operations. Have you been increasing your stake in the company, and what's the end game, and what stake will you stop?
Well, I think that Vedanta, as our chairman has said publicly, our chairman who had founded the company and has taken the business to new heights, again, as we've seen with this 10-year anniversary that we're having right now in the London Stock Exchange, he sees a strong value in the London Stock Exchange listing on a going forward basis. So I think that for us, we see creating opportunities that benefit all the shareholders. Certainly, we are quite optimistic about the future, and again, the actions we're taking are related and tied to that optimism.
Tom, how big are Vedanta's plans in the gas space under Ken?
Yes, we have been predominantly focusing on oil in our Kane India business, and our very, very exciting discovery that we've had, increase in production from virtually 0 to 180,000 barrels of oil per day at a lifting cost of about $5 a barrel is truly world class. Over the past 6 months, we've been progressively identifying larger and larger, deeper gas resources. And again, while we have right now we're producing as much gas as we can because we only have an 8-inch pipeline from the field. Our intention is to identify larger gas resources. I think multiple TCFs of gas resources that we believe are available within the basin, and looking to create our own infrastructure. And what we'd like to see is a 30-inch pipeline, which we see as a very important contributor to gas in the Indian market. And again, given that India is relying on LNG for a lot of its gas supplies, we see a very, very ready market right in our own backyard for that gas.
Is there any chance of increasing the amount set aside for a buyout of Hindustan Zinc and Balco?
The government in its fiscal year budget has provided for quite a large amount of disinvestments, and the government has already also publicly indicated that the Hindustan Zinc 30% interest that they hold, plus the 49% non-operating interest in Balco are high on their agenda. So as we understand it, they're going through a valuation process right now. We don't know the details of how that disinvestment will take place, but we're certainly looking forward to participating in whatever that disinvestment process would be. I think that as I look at the business, I look at what we've done successfully with those businesses since the original privatization about 12 years ago. We would like to participate in more of that business on a going forward basis. Realistically, it's going to be along the process that the government sets.
What are the focus areas of growth then for you at this point? Acquisitions have always been the idea of growth for Vedanta. What will you be? What is really your plan of action as far as M&A activity is concerned?
I think our main focus right now is to take those businesses that are already strong, like our oil and gas, leading oil and gas business, our zinc business, leading zinc business, and make sure they're even stronger in the future. But we have other businesses that aren't necessarily pulling their weight yet. Our copper business needs to improve. Our aluminum business and our iron ore businesses need to improve considerably. So my main focus is actually making sure we improve those businesses so that all the main business lines of Vedanta are pulling their weight. That's going to allow us to build our cash flow generation, our EBITDAs, which are already quite strong at $4.5 billion last year, and our EBITDA margins, which are some of the highest in the industry, make them even stronger. And I think that will allow us to deleverage and position ourselves for opportunities and growth as we go forward, whether it's organic growth or looking outside our horizon.
Is the new government under Narendra Modi giving any hope? Are the teething problems of the Vedanta Group going to be addressed with the new government at the center?
Well, I think, again, the government's been in place just about 100 years right now. High expectations, high hopes, but in all of the things I've read and also my own personal engagement with senior people in government, clearly the commitment to create those jobs, to hold, to block those things that were holding back the economy in the past, certainly are key on the agenda, and that's, again, very much aligned with our interests. More jobs in India, more manufacturing in India means more markets for us. So, again, I think that we are all aligned in that direction.
Tom, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for accommodating this interview request and for joining in today. Incidentally, it's also been a day that's been marked by the highest ever turnover, so keep that in mind. But